I think we're live. Are we live?
Yeah.
Was it last week someone complained that the start gets cut off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe let's start from here. We were discussing the idea of having open source contribution request for our intro and outro on umbraCoffees. So if anyone wants to contribute. Yeah, anyone wants to contribute and help us to avoid situations like that when we are cut off at the beginning or at the end of the stream, submit your requests somewhere. We're here in our umbraCoffee episode number 105. Amazing number, once again. We are coming close to Christmas, and we are joined today by Laura. Hi, Laura. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. Happy to be here.
Good. I think we've had you on before. I was trying to work out when I invited you, if we'd had you on before. We've had you on at Codegarden.
No.
We've had you like this.
No, only at Codegarden.
Cool. Do you have a mug? We probably need to give you a
mug. I think there is a mug somewhere.
we'll make sure you get one.
There is always a mug somewhere. But yeah, we'll make it count. So yeah, how's your month and week, Laura? You've been busy. We've seen a lot of your activities recently. Tell us more about it.
Yeah. I mean, December always seems to be just like a mad month, doesn't it? I feel like really early on, I started pushing stuff into 2020 because it's just so many different things happening. But no, it's been good, and obviously the advent calendars with the articles and stuff has been really fun to keep up with.
I'm surprised you managed to write 2 articles. But you've written an article and drawn an article.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I mean, to be fair, the 24 days in one, I was given the heads up in at Codegarden that was going to be a thing. So
I think a lot of people were given a heads up quite early on, and I can speak from experience that doesn't mean anything.
But yeah,
an article. If I was writing one, I'd still be tweaking it.
Yeah, but and also with the latest of Code One, when Carol was asking if people were interested, she kind of gave a range of contributions you could make, and seemed like a good idea to just try something different.
So it's a fantastic format. So there it is. So you've gone and drawn like a cartoon strip about the day in a life of a developer, Fern.
Yes. Right? Yeah. So it was kind of just I kind of wanted to communicate, things happen, it's not always great being a developer, but it's always worth it, I guess. And the feedback has been pretty good. So I feel like if just one person feels slightly less alone, then that's cool. Job done.
Yeah, it's really, really awesome. Very well drawn, and actually a really nice way of communicating the message that you've got in there, because there's so many little details, like the meet the team thing, and Fern's the only woman in the lineup, and it's incredibly well thought through.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, although I'd never done comics. I'd never tried doing a comic before, and I really hate drawing people. It was a bit challenging at times, but I will happily go back to landscapes now and, see how that...
I was going to say, maybe you could take up the role of Scrift's resident comic
after Mod Baseball
each month.
He does such a good job, and I love his tools.
Yeah, we've been talking before going live that it's also helped all of us to see other people's talents, and no one ever noticed some of the talents from other people, such as ukulele players and drawers and painters, whatever else other people are doing. But thanks to some initiatives around our tech community, we can also see the other hobbies and passions from people who we know from specific area of our interest. That's really interesting. And of course, you've mentioned 24 days as well, right, Callum? So we had a really another busy week, and once again, I've just put all of those articles to my to-do list, and I will probably spend another week after December just catching up on those articles. But
yeah,
did you read any of them?
I have not managed to catch up this week. I did read the article by Yoka. I think it was over the weekend. Last weekend, basically pushing ourselves to do more.
Yeah.
Today's one by Kieran and yesterday's one by Alice are both. I mean, they're all really good, but those are the two that I have kept up with. And it's just such a good mix of stuff this year as well. Such a varied, such a variety.
Yeah, there really is. I saw a few people saying that the blog post by Anthony and John was actually really good, and they found similarities with the ways they were doing things, and this being a really nice approach. So a really good, as you say, a good mix of technical content and some maybe more soft skill things. I know you did a fantastic article. Was it last week? Very quickly.
It was the second one. It was the second one in the whole
speaking and your experience, and again, that was valuable.
That was quite fun to do. Although, because obviously I have done quite a lot of speaking this year. At the beginning of the year, I'd only ever done internal company presentations, so it's been quite a year of sort of getting outside my comfort zone, and it's actually really nice to kind of formalize how it all works in my head.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really cool to see your process, which is a far more advanced.
Yeah, the whole planning. Notes
on the topic though, right? So the talks I did on Umbraco GraphQL stuff were much less involved than the one I did at UK Fest, because the content is more linear, I guess. But yeah,
that's what I was going to say, because I remember even my sketches when I did a big A2 cards with my notes and transitions between topics and slides. And when it comes to technical talk and especially something what we can implement, it's from developers' perspective sometimes easier, because we can just work on code and then just present it. Of course, we can then deal with the demo fails and stuff like that. But besides that, it's maybe easier than just combining the other knowledge and sources if we want to really confirm that this is true or based on some research or data other than our thoughts only. So yeah, well then I shared this post across various friends who were also struggling with getting them motivated to do public speaking. And hopefully it will be helpful for more people, and it's content which won't get easy out of date. I'm more than sure.
Sure.
Cool. And what else we had from Umbraco perspective this week? We had two major announcements, right? One of them was security issue. Yeah, the first one was the security advisory, but people said that it's just a lower severity, so it's not such an important issue, but it is, of course, as all security advisories. So we had a really nice description of the issue by Runa on December 10th. Telling us more about the real issue. Some pull requests were flying over. People were sharing why it's happening, why we should fix it, and stuff like that. On Slack channel, especially, I've seen a lot of discussions around this topic. So yeah, if anyone missed it, I think it's very important to once again remind about it, that there is an issue in all of the versions from 7.0 to 7.14, which can be fixed by patch releases or a workaround. Which is here. So yeah, we've spent half a day in our team to just apply it across the projects. It was really simple, fast, and easy. But it's always good to have it applied. Did you do the same? Sorry,
my stuff's V8, so it's.
Yeah. we still had some lonely projects who are running on 7X, let's say, and then they needed it. So that was interesting. So yeah, and the second one was more optimistic and more related to what you said. So it was a new release of Umbraco V8, and it's V8.4. And there is one stat which is worth to be mentioned, right, during talking about 8.4. It's a number of community pull requests.
180 community contributions or something stupid, isn't it?
Yeah, it was mentioned somewhere there. 180 of those Hacktober for pull requests in a very wide variety of categories. So I think that the really nice job done by HQ and I presume Sebastian mostly is to highlight all of the people who made great efforts to make this release such a great release. And yeah,
first time contributors there as well. That's awesome.
Yep, exactly. So that's a good one, and also those improvements which are introduced in this version are great. Laura, if we have you here, do you answer all of the polls by Richard Sutherland about the version which you are working on? What is your main preference right now? Are you working mostly on V8 projects, V7?
I do intermittently answer the poll. At the moment, mostly V7 at work, but V8 in my own time. So it is a bit of a mix, I guess. Yeah, I think it depends, doesn't it? It depends on clients and what they're on and what they want.
I'd love to see more options on that poll of like V4 still, V6. the few poor sods that are still working on V4 sites.
Oh god.
Other CMS. But something like that. Yeah, it might get more complex over the time, but yeah, it's good to see those answers, even if they're not fully reflecting what's going on. But people are traversing slowly, but it's getting there. But other people are not wasting time. And once again, we can highlight a couple of great releases and updates around packages for V8. And we will be talking more about packages after discussing those releases. But we've seen a fresh release of Using Complete with some fancy bouncing track in the release.
Just to update a truck.
It's so satisfying, right?
Yeah, it's really satisfying. I mean, Kevin's done an awesome job with all of the icons in Usync as a whole, because it just feels quite alive when you're using, like, doing an export. It goes boom.
Yeah, it's a
bouncing truck.
Defining the process and the progress bar, modern progress bar, right?
Yeah,
something like that. And other big packages which are very, very useful. Doctype grid editor with a stable version and even version 1.1 already. So it was a very awaited package and version by most of the people who are working with V8 and Grid. So it's there, ready to be used. Also, we've had a Plumber release. Once again with some bug fixes and fixes for broken bits, as Nathan said here.
I like how Nathan says, I've released this, but there's going to be another one coming very, very soon.
It sounds like a public roadmap defining the
Yes.
Yeah, what else do you have? You have Uskinned version.
Uskinned for V8, the first theme for V8. Which is
is it the first version? Because I've seen some.
I believe it is.
Okay, because I thought that there was somewhere, but maybe they've just mentioned that they are going to release it. But
yeah, it's been talked about for a little while, but I believe this is the first theme. It looks, I mean, relatively similar to V7 setup, so it'll be familiar for people. I don't know if it's upgradable. I doubt it's upgradable, but
yeah, I haven't used it for a while. Laura, did you use you've skinned at all in the past?
Never. Not like on purpose. It just hasn't come up anywhere. But it's really good. And to get you out the door, it would be an amazing thing to build on, I think. Yeah.
I've seen it in one of the projects in which I worked in. It looks really, really cool. And there was also a demo released by and sharing more Blazor, not Blazor, more hardcore integrations and documented, so everyone who wants to play with Blazor can just simply reuse and play with it. And one more follow-up questions, Laura, if we have. Do something else after recent releases post beta?
I've not actually had the opportunity. Obviously I've been following the press around it, but I've not actually been able to wade in and start breaking things yet. So it's on my list of things to do.
Yeah, I've got a Christmas project a few Christmas projects that I'd like to do, and one of them includes playing around with hardcore. Whether it'll happen,
Yeah, but no, I've obviously, Carol has been posting a few different things about it, and I'm excited to play. Just want to sort of set around the time. That's one thing that's not been pushed to 2020 though. So. But no, at least
yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. And
I feel like we've got a bit of lag.
We also had a preview of Vendor. And I don't know if sometimes async.
You're incredibly delayed.
I didn't have a chance yet.
Okay, I'll take over for a second. Yeah, Vendor preview came out. Matt gave us a glimpse of this blended site a few weeks ago, his demo site that he'd been building, and yeah, he's now released a preview for it, which you can go and download. It's got an issue tracker and everything, so we can start playing with it. I don't do that much e-commerce, so I've not really got a use case.
It sells tea, doesn't it? As like a nod to T-commerce.
Yeah.
Like that.
Again, I love Matt's subtle details. Just yeah, it's brilliant. But yeah, so he's got this little tea store. You can go and give it a whirl. And there's already been a lot of feedback. So people started asking, actually, do people need the SKU field on tracking information and all this stuff? So yeah, people are actually starting to use it. People are excited, keen. I mean, it's another thing I probably should have a play with.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
but I don't personally have like a use case for it in a project right now.
Mm.
Don't do too much e-commerce.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to sort of
push it to 2020 then.
But no, it does. And like it's like you say, so much attention to detail. Insane. Like
it's
you
interesting because I'm really delayed.
Yes, you are really delayed. Maybe rejoin. In the meantime, so I'd actually found some things.
I will keep it going.
We will. I found some things this week on Twitter, which were kind of like sneak peeks at something that will be coming soon. And have you seen for a little while? Peter Gregory's been talking about this package bento.
I have seen the occasional post, yes, and I've seen his sort of gifs of stuff happening and people being excited.
Yeah, exactly. The funny thing is, because Marcin's now left the stream, I can't actually add my screen to the stream. But when Marcin comes back, we'll show a picture. This week we've been teased by a couple of things on Twitter. Pictures of bento, this package, which looks to be this kind of grid-like thing, but each cell is its own published block.
Yeah. So kind of like a layout type generator thing.
Yeah, looks like it. Stacked, like a hybrid of stacked content and the grid, perhaps. I'm not quite sure because everything opens in an infinite editor, and you can do all of that glorious stuff there.
I guess like a bento box, right? Like sushi. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it's a clever name. Very clever name. But yeah, he's promised he'll come on and do an umbraCoffee soon, so we'll make that happen. But that looks really, really cool. And the other one that I saw was Niels. He tweeted a screenshot of a React app talking to hardcore forms. So I mean, it was only 2 weeks ago that they actually launched the product, but they said we're going to have a forms API, and it seems like that's actually a bit further along than we thought.
That's exciting.
Yeah, so that's coming. And the other thing, again, I can't share the picture, but I tweeted yesterday 2 pictures of, I don't think we should call them secret meetings. They weren't secret. But
you called them secret meetings in the tweets, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I called them, I don't know what I called them. Marcin's back.
Yeah, hopefully I'm not far away from being synced.
I don't know. We were just talking, if we rewind for 30 seconds, we were talking about the things we were teased with this week, which was bento and the hardcore headless forms API. But I couldn't share my screen because because you weren't here.
So you want to share my screen then, right?
Sure, that's allowed.
Yeah, that's here. Yeah, we've been teased a lot this week, and as you've said, even Peter, before we went live, said that he is probably happy to join umbraCoffee soon to tell us more about it. because he was telling some details about it from a while, and it looks really, really nice and really complex and really useful from the perspective of content editing.
Saying kind of a grid nested or grid stacked content hybrid, it seems.
Yes.
Which is cool. And then the other hidden thing was the forms, or the thing we teased was the forms, where Niels has got a React app and some API response, and just makes for a good picture, doesn't it? Really, I don't even if
picture with some code on it.
it's done on purpose, probably, right?
Sure.
But then, Callum, you also have been a part of some secret meetings. And,
I call them secret meetings, but they're definitely not secret meetings. And I'm glad you didn't say that on Twitter, because they definitely weren't secret.
Okay.
Yeah. So tell us more about it then.
Yeah, it was just a few people dialed into the weekly package team chat to talk about some of the things that they're up to, and how people who've released packages maybe could give their input on that. I don't want to spoil too much, because I'm sure they'll release some details. And the bottom one was a little bit interesting. Something kind of came out of the blue, which was just getting some feedback, opinions on how HQ and the community could tackle .NET Core as a project, and work together a bit more collaboratively. No one's promising any like release dates or anything at this point, but it was interesting to hear different.
You feed Niels some more chili, and then
They're just saying no hot seat challenge with Niels, just to simply deliver on time.
Oh, Monday next week.
No, it's a topic which probably from a while doesn't require any rush, and everyone said that it just needs to be done. It needs to be done correctly. Yeah. Some community members were very vocal about the approach taken at the beginning of just trying to fix it or make workarounds to make it work. It's probably not a solution if it needs to be done right. So I'm really happy to see that even those meetings are happening and ideas are popping in. And you've said that some of them are already on GitHub, right? And everyone can contribute and discuss.
The Umbraco .NET Core project's actually been happening in the open. So maybe it was a couple of weeks ago that Soren, who was on the call, did a pull request, the first pull request, community pull request for .NET Core. Bjarke has been migrating. He said he's got about 20% of some of the code base over. It's more of a restructure at the minute, to following the RFC. So there's nothing hugely surprising going on. It's stuff that's already been discussed and already there. But there's a branch, I think it's called netcore/dev on GitHub, if you wanted to go and have a look.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I also before we went live, that for people who were working a lot with .NET Core, maybe not so much with Umbraco, it's maybe a good destination to combine an expertise and share some of the approaches and help in making it done correctly from the very beginning. Because if we were working on .NET, simply not on .NET Core for most of the time, we don't have probably enough knowledge to just simply transfer to there.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Very similar to the V8 build, where there was lots of little bits that they go, oh, we would really like help with this, but it's a smaller task, we don't really have time. There's going to be some great places where the community can get involved with that sort of stuff. But as you say, there's going to be some much bigger, higher level architectural decisions that also need to be made. And there's people in the community who are really well placed to help give their opinions on those. So I think over the next 6 months or so, we'll start seeing more engagement with the community and how we can actually get it to where it needs to be.
I mean, it's such a big thing, isn't it, that it needs like a structured integration with the community almost, because otherwise it will just be. Yeah,
you definitely don't want to rush out and just go, right, let's go for it. And then everyone starts doing what they think, and it needs a good solid core few months to get it to a point where it's like, okay, we're happy, but there's 50% still left to do that people can help with.
Yeah.
Really, the challenging part is also that .NET is changing. The .NET platform is also changing really rapidly, and it's exciting times. And the rewrite of applications such as that is always a challenge. It's not a task done in one sprint or a couple sprints. Cool. So maybe let's jump to something else for a while, because we are in December, and Secret Santa started to arrive to people, and we've been all participating in it, and we've been discussing it before also going live. That some of the packages went off, some of them are awaited already. Did you do your job around Secret Santa already?
I have not placed my order.
Kindly reminder, Callum.
For a very good reason, and I will talk to you about it afterwards, Marcin.
Okay.
So mine's packaged up, and I'm taking it to the post office this afternoon. And I've got the notification that my present is on its way, and it's just waiting for it to arrive. So that's exciting.
Ooh, exciting.
Nice. I've also sent mine, and it didn't arrive yet. But we also seen some community pictures of presents already delivered, and one of them
access seems to be a big theme this year.
Yeah, it's a gift for the CEO, so something special, and yeah, so it just, I'm sad that some of those ideas didn't pop out before I sent my package, because they were really crazy, and I really liked some of them. But we also seen some more, one more axe. I don't know if it's a trend.
Community or axe.
Is it a trend, or everyone wants to play during the Codegarden without with their own equipment? I don't know. And also Ravi teased us with some really nice present, and of course no one knows who sent it.
That's classy. That's good.
Yeah, it's really Secret Santa. And also Lottie. I've mentioned the ukulele before, and here we have a solid comparison right now for Mark, and Lottie will be practicing ukulele tunes, and maybe that's also a good transfer to the topic of our intro and outro for umbraCoffee. I don't know. We don't know nothing.
It would
We're
be great
throwing
to
ideas.
to do a little ukulele singing introduction. I'm sure he'll do it.
Yeah. Or the whole.
We could have a different intro each week.
Yeah, why not?
The end of it. Are we live now?
Yeah. And also, Callum, we wanted to also mention some of the deadlines coming and events ahead. One of those events is your CFP Buddy initiative with Emma.
Yeah, on Monday we're doing a little come along, and we'll help you submit to some conferences. Umbraco specific. The goal would be Codegarden, because the deadline for that's January 7th. But also, actually, I think the Umbraco Spark one is still open if they have a couple of spaces.
Till Christmas Day, isn't it?
Till Christmas. And the BUUG Fest one, Belgium Festival, in March. They're still looking for speakers. So if any of those sound interesting at all, then the goal is that we'll help you walk through writing a proposal and actually submitting it. Emma and I will be there. Monday, it's virtual. You can join from home in your pajamas. It's fine. But I think also Spark has got early bird tickets still.
Yeah, early birds, and also 8 days left 2 days ago. So 6 days left right now to submit talk proposals. And I think it all combines well with the whole virtual meetup which you are organizing, because if people will decide on the topics, get feedback early, and then just copy and paste the output to those talks, it will be a great input for event organizers to decide on the agendas. And also Codegarden is coming to close of the end, and Elon was already mentioning a lot about it on various channels, to invite people to contribute more and send their ideas. And I still have some of those in my to-do list. And Callum, I've seen you've been also sending some call for proposals as well, right?
Yes.
What about you, Laura? After the public speaking kickoff, what are your plans with talks in 2020 then?
2020. That's a good question. I think, I'd like to submit to probably Codegarden, see how that goes, and Spark is going to be, I don't at the moment know what I would talk about for it, so I might just enjoy a conference for once. That might be fun.
That's a normal feeling, enjoying a conference.
I know, it might be weird. But yeah, like BUUG Fest as well, like that would be quite a fun one to go to, because Belgium and chocolate and good things.
Chocolates are the key factor, of course. Yeah, but I think it's also kind of new once again on the map of the events, and that's why it's very interesting for all of us. So yeah, that's nice. That sounds like a good plan. And just to remind everyone that those call for proposals are for all of us to just submit the ideas. It's not the end of the world after submission of the idea, because sometimes it's just polished, discussed, and arrived and delivered if it's required or needed. So just submit as much as you can and help make those events better. And if we're talking about good stuff, I've already opened the article which was titled "Why Do Editors Love Umbraco CMS?" Because we've seen 2 blog posts about similar topics from different perspectives right now. One of them is written by HQ and Christina and shares some feedback from editors and people who are already involved in some of the projects being built by well-known agencies and companies across the globe, awarded with some awards during the Codegarden as well. And second article was about another 8 reasons why we love Umbraco, but from more general perspective, not only editors related. And I think it's once again, yesterday I've seen one more. I can't remember if it was this one or another one, but it looks good when you see the articles like that being written by someone who just maybe entered the community and started using Umbraco and already sees that difference between other CMSs, because it's really easy to be spotted by some people. So good. Did you see those articles, by the way, Laura?
Yeah, I saw the one from. I also saw. I'm not going to say her name right. Fedosia. So I speak at Codegarden as well, and I really enjoy the talk. So yeah. The article, and it's such like a kind of a comforting point of view, because you know, as a developer, you build things that you hope people will enjoy, but the fact that Umbraco at a baseline is already really valuable. It's just building better things, good things.
Yeah, cool. And last item on our list is about MVPs. So once again, Codegarden MVPs and Owen series, highlighting all of the recent MVPs, and this week was really busy. And
one every day.
Owen probably found a way of releasing it really faster than previously. 5 MVPs, all of them answered set of the questions from Owen. So if you want to learn more about those MVPs, just go to owen.codes/blog and find those answers there. Really nice series, and there's a lot of other MVPs to be covered. So good to know some of the people and their answers for those questions, right? And Jan asked if there will be nannies in Belgium. So as an event organizer, we should think about it, something like that. It would be very helpful.
A community member can take shifts. Can't think of anything worse.
Cool. So yeah, it was once again at the end of the list. It was a very busy week and packed with a lot of stuff. And probably we are not slowing down before Christmas. Are you both working next week, or slowly getting into Christmas mood?
Yeah, well, so today's Christmas jumper day in the UK. I'm sad to see you wearing one, Callum.
Is it?
So next week is like the last full week of work before Christmas. So I'll probably try and wear a Christmas jumper every day. That will be a fun challenge.
Again, can't think of anything more.
Callum, what are your plans then?
Well, as I'm a man, I probably have to do all my Christmas shopping next week.
Yeah. Last day.
Yeah, absolute last minute. But I've also got quite a lot of stuff on.
Yeah, I'm slowly clearing up my list of to-dos, and yeah, probably next Thursday or Friday I will feel like Christmas arriving finally. So yeah, but we will have a special, kind of special. If I will announce it right now as a special, it will be special. If you want, it won't be special. Special umbraCoffee episode next Friday, which will be the last one before Christmas. Umbra Christmas. So Callum, maybe then you will just wear a jumper with some.
I can get some tinsel or something.
We will figure out something, right?
Yeah.
We need to. So yeah, we can. If you have any ideas and you will be active during the next week, just make sure we will see it and we can hopefully highlight it. And yeah, we will definitely see each other next Friday before Christmas, on the last week of December. Woo! So thanks Laura for joining us today, and also keep us busy and up to date with your work and creations around various areas. Well done with the articles, and we are looking for more, as always.
Thank you.
So yeah, thanks all, and have a great rest of the day and the weekend ahead. Cheers. Thank you. Oh, and right now we're waving for 10 more seconds.